Patrick Queen, he had some things to say today about this rivalry as well when everybody asked him about what this week means to him, because that is going to be one of the biggest storylines going into Sunday's game. He simply said, quote, "I wasn't wanted back in Baltimore. I didn't get an offer to come back to Baltimore. It's definitely kind of upsetting being there for 4 years, the bond that you grow with your teammates. But at the end of the day, the first few months, you definitely go through those feelings. Now, after playing games, you just go by and you just want to go win games." So Patrick Queen, not thinking about it too much, but certainly saying, hey, they didn't want me back, and just know that that is in the back of my mind as I line up against you this weekend.
Yeah, I like that he's using the fuel with the fire. You saw people on Twitter from Baltimore, kind of insiders and reporters over there, saying that's not what Baltimore does, man. If they don't want you, if they feel that you're going to go elsewhere no matter what, if they can't afford you, they're not going to make a save face offer. They're just going to let you go. They're going to move on. They're going to do things, and I guess sometimes that comes back to bite them in the butt. I loved it. I also love that Patrick Queen is a dude who is the most soft-spoken human being ever, like to ever exist. You could be me to this coffee away, and you are sitting there going, I kind of know what he's saying, but I'm not 100% certain what's coming out of his mouth right now. That's how soft-spoken Patrick Queen is, but full of aggression. And I just, that's got to fire everybody up. That's got to get the juices flowing. I don't think there is anybody in this entire rivalry this weekend on either side, no matter how many times you've played it, that has more on the line than Patrick Queen. That is, and I think everybody would agree with that. There's nobody that's sitting around with more juice, more fuel to the fire, more to prove, more people to shut up than Patrick Queen. And the fact that he didn't get an offer from Baltimore, I mean, just adds to that fire. It is flaming right now. And I mean, I love that. I hope he comes in here and continues to play as well as he played last week against the Commanders. I think that's the other good part of this, is that he's a dude who started to turn on last week, and you're hoping that he could continue to turn on this week when he takes on his former team. You got to hope that he could can play aggressive and mindful at the same time. But I'm all about it. I don't think anybody in this rivalry has more to lose than Patrick Queen. And I mean, you got to be excited that he's on the Pittsburgh Steelers side with this much to lose and this much to gain. Guys, there is no better place to be during football season than at a Pittsburgh Steelers game. And now, Game Time has this new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live, like the Pittsburgh Steelers, even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. I, as everybody knows, am going to see Creed in a couple of weeks, and it was effortless finding my tickets on Game Time. Why? Because they lay everything out for you. All-in pricing shows you the total up front with no surprise fees at checkouts. Seat Views means that you get to see a panoramic view of your seat in the app before you ever buy the tickets. The lowest price guaranteed, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. And Game Time ticket coverage, your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use our code ALLSTEELERS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code ALLSTEELERS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time.
Yeah. I mean, that was in his introductory press conference with the Steelers. He said, I'm ready to play the villain in this rivalry. And it was pretty loud from the Baltimore side of things in response to that, basically saying, oh, well, they didn't want you back for good reason. You never pay a guy like you that much money. So it got really loud from the Baltimore fan base. I know that it's going to get real interesting whenever the Steelers visit Baltimore, but he has had this circled on his calendar since the schedule came out. And he probably said, man, I would have loved to have this earlier in the season so I could really put my stamp on being a Pittsburgh Steeler. But with last week's game, his best in a Steelers uniform, this is a chance to continue to grow and continue to kind of build up that momentum in the second half of the season. I'm excited to see what he comes out there and does, especially because he's going to be big in that plan to stopping Lamar Jackson, because that's what the Steelers wanted out of Patrick Queen. That's what the Steelers wanted out of drafting Peyton Wilson. They wanted guys that can go sideline to sideline. It's going to be a big week for him trying to keep Lamar Jackson in check, and I think it's going to go a long way and how successful the Steelers defense is in slowing down a guy who's on his way to potentially being a 3-time NFL MVP.
Yeah, it is going to be a challenge. Definitely a tall task. I like that Baltimore talked and that everybody came out here and had their criticisms of Patrick Queen, because there's just one thing you don't do to an NFL player, and that's talk smack, man, because you're doing nothing but giving him bulletin board material. I'm excited to see what he does. I'll be rooting for Patrick Queen this weekend.